Welcome to Imperfect in an Uncertain World, resources for living with authenticity and purpose. Let's talk about resolutions today. Have you ever made them? Do they work for you? So, today I'm going to talk about resolutions. We're going to strike that through, and we're going to talk about instead a commitment from the core. Now, I was reflecting on the winter solstice a couple of days ago, and I found myself wanting to just leap across this great chasm into 2021. And then I was thinking, you know what? I want to forego the winter and land smack dab in the middle of March. 3 months into 2021, the dark will no longer be, and the tiny stems of my being will be preparing to shoot up from the ground of my being into the newness of me. Okay, so I'm having this great fantasy, this dream about what I want to have happen. And then logic kicks in, as it usually does. And I think to myself, I don't own a time machine. And I must live through the dark, carefully sifting through what seeds to nurture and what seeds to toss into the compost pile so that they become rich fertilizer for something else in my life. Now, this next year, 2021, is unlike any other that I will have experienced. And then a voice says to me, but aren't they all, Vanessa? But no, this is the big 6-0 for me. And I find myself reflecting upon how I want to nurture myself into being these next 9 months before I actually turn 60. And so this is not so much a resolution for me, but a commitment to living from my core. So I want to say that again, a commitment to live from the core. And you might be saying, what does that even mean? And how different is this commitment from a New Year's resolution? For me, this commitment is to look past the superficials, like I want to lose weight or I want to exercise more, to how I really need to live. So, this commitment is about digging furrows into the whys of change that I need to plant deep within my soul. So, I'm going to dig these furrows so that I can actually plant the seeds. This commitment to change means letting go of habits that no longer serve me or us. Um, and I'm not even going to get into the reason why we develop these habits that we yearn to restructure, because that is a whole complex issue for sure. And I'm not a therapist who can unravel the reason or the reasons why habits develop and are sustained. Instead, I'm a mentor who can pose questions, listen to your responses, and help you become your best self. And so, evolving into your best self means working with those slithering things in the dark and navigating the dark with your intuition. So, I have to tell you, if you're going to contact me for mentoring, this year I've decided I'm going to be my best client. So, give me a run for the money. Join me. Ask me to mentor you, and we'll see if you get to be my best client instead. So let's go back. How do we really get to our best self? Um, I'm going to share with you one of my favorite, most powerful tools. And that tool for me is journaling. Now, I'm a big journaler, I'm a big writer. And as I write, I visualize the emotions that I experience or that I have experienced really leaching from my pen as the ink goes onto the paper. And as the page fills, I empty myself until I am objective enough to really look at the events unfolding in my life. This means that I become less attached to my reactions, more aware of my judgments, not so defensive about what I'm writing about. So, less attached, more aware of my judgments, and less defensive. In my objectivity, I can see clearly my triggers, and the resulting implosions. I learn how to navigate the minefield of triggers. And it's in this navigation that I shift, and that the shift happens, and that I become the real me. And that's important. It's all about being non attached, less judgmental, and less defensive. So, the other part of journaling is that I own who I am, even when I slip and fall. After I acknowledge my imperfections, I breathe deeply into the calm, and the whispers of self-compassion really caress my woundedness. They heal my woundedness. And then I commit that to a somatic memory. I commit the feelings that led up to the flip trigger, not to hold on to them, but to be aware of the next time a trigger is going to flip. I immerse myself in self-care, self-compassion, and self-love. So, journaling for me just isn't about writing it down. It's about really engaging, being aware of what I am writing down and how I am releasing that from my body, my mind, my heart, my emotions, and really reconnecting to my spirit. So, after my journaling processing, I re enter my life with a new awareness. I attend to my body, mind, and heart, alert really to the tattered threads of my spirit, because I recognize that these spirit threads weave through my body, mind, and heart, really connecting all four aspects of myself. And those spirit threads are what makes me real. So I think about the Velveteen Rabbit and how do I want to be real? Those spirit threads are what makes you real too. So once real, I can make choices to neutralize my triggers and be myself regardless of what slithers in the dark or reflects brightly in the light. Now, as I talk to you about this, I also recognize that unfortunately, the commitment to being me isn't lived on a straight line from now to then. And I'm quite sure that the next 9 months or so will see a detour or 12. That's the way it is. But this year, I'm not going to have resolutions. I am committed to planting me deep within the dark, fertile soil of my soul and attending to the whispers in the dark that slither within me, making that room for me to grow. So I'm going to ask you, how about you? How do you become objective in your life? How do you leach those emotions, the angst, the potential triggers that push you into reaction? How do you work with them in your life? And what are you committing to in 2021? So I want to thank you for watching this video today. If you like it, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends. Additional resources are available at vanessafhurst.com. I am available for you to schedule a spiritual mentoring session. We can work on your intuition so you can begin to listen to those things, to listen to those slithers in the dark. But no matter what you do, I want you to live your best self. I want you to find a way to navigate the uncertainties, to use your imperfections as tools to become your best self. Thank you and have a terrific day.